Alright guys, so as we all know, Halloween has come and gone, but for me, whenever I'm home alone, my 2-year-old insists that I dress up like the Hulk. So despite the work that I still have to do and get done, today I'm the Hulk. Alright guys, so this is what I want you to understand. We talk about block gutters a lot when they're full. This is what happens when they're full. Can you see that right there? You see how the rain pours out of the side of the gutter? It does no good when the water drains over the side. Let me see if I can get a better angle to show you. I want you to look here at how this downspout is simply opening up onto the side. Now the issue is that as you sit back next to that wall, you'll notice that the water is pooling near the side of the house. We want to keep water away from the side of the house as best as we can. And ideally what we want to make sure is that this water runs out and down into the yard. All right guys, so in all seriousness, this is a problem, one that I see more times than not. As a matter of fact, I was just on an inspection this week. It was a new construction, and a lot of these don't have gutters when they're built. The homeowner then has to put them on themselves afterwards, and sometimes this is neglected or forgotten, and it is critical. It is pivotal, especially when you're on a slab house. You don't have a crawl space, so all of that water that drains up against the side of the house over time may show, and you may not have a way of knowing that water is being soaked up by your foundation. But you know, even that being the case, gutters themselves are not enough. You have to clean them out frequently. The number one way to protect the house, the number one way to keep the house in good shape for years to come is to keep water away from the sides. That's one of the most important things. That's why we design roof angles, pitches, and slopes so the water will run off. And then ideally what happens, they run into the gutters, down the gutters, all the way through, down the downspouts, and away from the house. We do not want the house or the surfaces to get wet. So you've got to install gutter guards. You've got to do something to make sure that those are not blocked. This is homeownership 101, but I see it way too frequently to even have to stop and call it out. The next thing that we're going to look at today pertains to the water heater. Do I have to put my mask on? Let's take a look at that video now. Alright guys, welcome back to today's training. So very briefly, I just want to direct your attention down to this water heater that you see stored in the garage. Now the question that is often raised is whether or not these have to be located off of the ground or whether these can be located on the ground. Typically what you'll see in houses is gas water heaters located 18 inches off of the ground due to this ignition source being located at the front of the water heater. So in this particular case and in this particular house, this unit was built before 2005. The manufacture date was in the early 90s. So at this point in time, it's easy for us to look at this and tell that this particular unit was not listed as a FVIR unit. That stands for Flammable Vapor Ignition Resistant. And those units that are 2005 typically or greater that are rated as an ignition resistant source do not have to be on the ground even though they are gas. Yet in this particular case, due to the age of unit, this one is not rated that way and it must be located 18 inches off of the ground to protect the homeowner and any type of combustible situation from occurring. Alright guys, we hope you learned something this week, especially when it comes to the gutters and the water heaters. If you guys have any additional questions, any further comments, concerns, if you need an inspection done by Hulk or Spider-Man, don't hesitate. You guys know where to find us. Have a good week.